What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And while we were at the event at the Chelsea Proving Grounds in Detroit, and I talked a little bit about this, myself and a bunch of other influencers and press were in a van going back to the staging area where they were going to show us these trucks. We saw a wide body Charger coming the opposite direction. And I mean plastic fender flares, all of that shit, and two juts off the back of the car, but no wing. But looks like the wing goes there, right? And a distinct supercharger whine when it went by. Now, knowing what I know about Stellantis, and knowing that they know we were in that van because they're on the radio every time we go back and forth, that wasn't done for no reason. That was done on purpose. Let's talk about the SRT Charger. What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. Before I get into today's video, I got to talk about the giveaway we currently have going on the channel. The SRT 10 Dodge Viper, the 2005 Viper that we were able to pick up with the rag top, is up on the channel. Extra entries are 96% sold out. There's 4% remaining, meaning there's like 2 or 3 at each of the different levels left. I believe 1 or 2 of them are already sold out. If you want to get in at the best rate for the best chance to win it, it is with the extra entries. At least for the last 3 cars that we've given away, it was people that had extra entries that won. So if you want to get in on it, link in the description down below, tk'sgarage.bigcartel.com. Oh, and you know, the SRT 10 Viper truck is there too. You can get in on that as well. But anyways, link in the description down below. I'm about bingo on fuel. I'm going to get gas here in a minute. But so when we go to this event, they drive this Charger by, and we all said the same thing. We're all looking around in the van, and I'm like, did you see that shit? I saw that shit. And but it was more than that. And I don't remember, it was actually a regular member of the press that was in the van with us that was like, did you hear it though? And I was like, yeah, I heard it. Like there was, it was, you know, indistinct, like you could tell what it was. Now, it's funny because we know that there's more versions of the Charger coming, but we've already leaked that. Like you have this race pack which says powered by SRT on the front windows. We did videos on that. I am shocked that that really didn't make a bunch of press. I don't know if you know, different media was looking at reporting on it and then didn't report on it because they didn't want to piss off their, you know, their people at Stellantis. You know, if I get something in and I'm not under embargo, I don't give a shit. I'm going to publish it. So there was that. We know that there's another Charger coming that's going to be a race pack version at some point. And then we know that there's a Hellcat version coming, an SRT version with the wing. Now, I was asked not to directly talk about it until after their press event, their event they were doing on the 21st, I believe, right? And I was going to do another video on this, like on the 22nd, and I had so much shit going on between moving into the new house there in Mississippi and then also get done so I could get on the road and do what I needed to do here for Memorial Day, that I just didn't have time to get into it. But anyways, so this was put out, and it looks like it's coming straight out of the Richard Petty area, and except for not having the nose. It doesn't have the nose, but it does have the wing. And the vehicle we saw at the Proving Grounds had those juts. It had those 2 things that came up about this high off the back of the car. So I'm guessing that was probably an SRT mule. Had to be, unless they're going to have multiple versions of the Hellcat, or you know, maybe that's going to be a Demon edition, because we know that they're making a new Demon on the Charger platform as well. All right, now that we've refreshed our fuel tank, what does it mean? Well, it means that this thing is coming sooner than later. I don't think that anything that they do with press, like, if there was shit that they didn't want us to see, they definitely wouldn't have drove it down the road, and they definitely wouldn't have been blipping the throttle and doing all that shit when they went by us, okay? So they wanted us to see it. That was at the event. 2 days later, maybe it was 3 days later, whenever they're doing Investor Day, they're showing this car to press. No electronics are allowed in the room. They're just showing that this thing exists. And that's not the only thing that they showed. There's multiple vehicles that are built off the Charger, but the one that I know people are the most interested in is the one that has the same wheelbase as the Wagoneer S, but it's a car. I'm going to talk about that in a video later today, so stay tuned. If you want to know what this Viper friggin' thing is, that's not a Viper, I will be covering that later today, so make sure you don't miss it. But in terms of the Charger, they are going to revitalize it, and from what I'm being told right now, the electric version of the Charger and that Daytona nameplate is going to go to this new car with the wing, and the electric car is going to get phased out. They're no longer going to make it. That's what I'm being told now. Thank God. Now, don't be surprised if I'm at another event somewhere for Dodge or something for the Charger, and they don't yell at me in the crowd to be like, it's only got one battery, it doesn't have any electric bullshit, because I'm the biggest critic and the biggest proponent of fuck that when it comes to Stellantis. Now, they've learned their lessons on the 4xEs and all that other shit. It has been an abject friggin' disaster. Now, it probably could have been done the right way had Carlos Tavares not been in charge and tried to go cheap on everything, labor, engineering, software, and created these disasters that keep hitting the balance sheet on recalls, and probably will continue to do so. But I think you're going to see, and I said this last year and I'm saying it now, you're going to see the largest roarback of an auto manufacturer that you have ever seen. And I'm not just saying, I know I've been catching it in the comments, you're just saying it, TK, because you invested in the company. No. Do you think I would put a house, do you think I would put hundreds of thousands of dollars into a company that I didn't think was going to win? I don't care if I'm a fan. I'm a Red Sox fan, all right? It doesn't mean that I'm not going to games. I'm not spending money to be there and use them season tickets. I'm selling them shits to suckers that want to go to those games right now. You know what I'm saying? I would not be investing my money into a loser, all right? Sorry for my fellow Red Sox fans, but they suck. So I would not be investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into Stellantis if I didn't believe in the brands that are actually carrying the entire company, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And I think when Chrysler gets some of these other things in, it's going to be huge. More on that in another video. But seeing Chrysler basically become old school Plymouth, basically the budget brand, which we can talk about now, is awesome. I love it. And I think that we're going to see some similar things from Dodge in terms of that entry-level performance vehicle and, this Viper-esque vehicle, which, they didn't even put a tag on it. They didn't put nothing on it like they did the GLH. So we'll see. But there's so many different variants coming for this Charger. I mean, this SRT one's going to be huge, right? We know that. That's going to be huge. But then, there's a Magnum variant from what I'm being told right now. And now that is not in a, mock-up stage. Like they haven't built that yet. There's not like a mule or a running vehicle running around that is a Magnum yet, okay? But there is mules and stuff of the race pack running around, which we exposed, and now this Charger. Now, I am doing my best to get you actual photo. Now, here's the thing. The media has already seen this vehicle. They showed it to them at Investor Day. Couldn't take photos, none of that shit. Made sure nobody had glasses on, no meta glasses, nothing. They wanted to make sure nobody got photos on it, because the wing that they showed goes up a little high. And as I was talking about, I just got done seeing Cali Boy Kev over at Contagion Athletics. I've also seen, there's different variations of this car. I've seen the tall wing. I've seen and I've seen a wing that's a little bit shorter, you know, like a mid wing. Okay, so I think that's what this is going to be. It's going to be somewhere in the mid wing, lower wing, not the really high one that they just showed the press. Okay, so anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you excited for it? If they're showing it now, we're going to see it at Roadkill Nights. I have a feeling I'm not going to have the only Hellcat Charger there. You know, I'm debating, and this is the thing. I'm also being told that they may still use the Banshee moniker. It may not be called a Hellcat Charger. It may be called a Banshee Charger, and it may come, just like remember when the Red Eye came out, it may, you know, the current Hellcat engines are coming with 777 horsepower. We saw that with the Rumblebee and the TRX. Could the Charger come with that as a Hellcat? Yes. But then they could have a Banshee Daytona with the wing, and that thing be somewhere at like 807 or 817 or somewhere around those numbers. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Be sure to give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I am almost where I need to be for Memorial Day, so stay tuned for that. This is not a happy holiday for me. It never is. It's a hard time for me every single year. You know, for those of us that have been around this and understand what the day means, it sucks. You know, a lot of us you'll see a lot of us walking around like, I don't want to say zombies, but well, we walk around a little different around this time, and it's within reason. You know, a lot of people, I got a lot of friends that have survivor's guilt, and you know, I'm going to go link up with some of my friends that have that now and try to, you know, get them past that. So just think about that while you're having your barbecue and your extra day off on Monday, what it actually means. I would appreciate it, and I'm sure, you know, the guys that, and the guys' families that you know, paid that ultimate sacrifice would appreciate that too. Not telling you not to have fun this weekend, just letting you know that you're having fun this weekend because somebody gave up everything. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and as always, stay petty, my friends.